Hello boys and girls, welcome to Mrs. Bandu's Math Movies. This is Lesson 7-8 for Course 2, Constructions. Our objective is to construct congruent segments and perpendicular bisectors. Okay, so let's go through a few definitions and orient ourselves to what we're going to be doing here. A compass is a geometric tool used to draw a circle or an arc. And this is what one type of compass looks like, similar to what we have in the classroom. In this section you will need the compass and you will need a straight edge. So your protractor has the built-in straight edge. That's always a great thing to have because it takes care of the straight edge. Whoops, my protractor is glued to my top here, so I can't pull it out at the moment. I'll pull it out as I need it. Okay, a midpoint is the point that divides a segment into two congruent segments. A segment bisector is a line, segment, or ray that goes through the midpoint of a segment. Okay. All right. So let's look at our. Well, let's finish this. Perpendicular lines are lines that intersect to form right angles. A perpendicular bisector is a segment bisector that is perpendicular to a segment. So it's pretty much what it says it is. Okay, so let's go back to our diagrams here. If we look at this, segment AM is congruent to segment MB, AM, MB. Point M is the midpoint of segment AB. Line L is a segment bisector of segment AB. It simply cuts the segment in half because it crosses through the midpoint. If we look up here, line T is a perpendicular bisector of segment CD. And then of course we have a drawing of a compass and the arc. Okay, now here are the steps. Some of them are partially done for you, but anyway, let's go through these. We will practice them in class as well. Constructing a congruent segment. So we want to construct segment XY congruent to segment ST. So we're given ST. The first step is to draw a ray with endpoint X. Okay, let me see if I can wrestle my protractor up from my desk here. Sorry folks, give me just a moment. Okay. And yeah, when these get on a flat surface, they don't flex very well. And I'm not really even measuring here. I'm just starting out with a straight edge, giving a point X and drawing a ray. I want to be sure that, just eyeballing it, that the ray I draw is longer than my given segment. Open the compass to the length of ST, just like it shows you. So you can, I'm going to go back up to the original here, so ST. And I'm going to put this in the center and at the center of those endpoints. So you see, it's open the length of ST. Keep the compass open to the same width. Put the compass on point X and draw an arc that intersects the ray. Label the point of intersection Y. Okay, so that is your third diagram right here. So this is telling you to do that. This is what it's telling you to do. I'm going to put the point in at X, the center of X, and I'm going to, without readjusting my compass, make an arc. It doesn't have to be big, just visible, okay, so that it crosses through my ray. And this point of intersection, I'm going to label Y, okay. So what I've just done here is I've constructed segment XY congruent to segment ST, okay. And I always like to say we construct with a straight edge and a compass. We draw with a ruler. So you want to be sure that you are not just drawing, because I'm going to be looking for your construction marks as well. We will be practicing in class, but this should at least give you a little bit of a heads up. Construct a perpendicular bisector of PQ. Set the compass to more than half the length of PQ. That's important, that it's more than half. I usually say eyeball it and make it about 2/3 to 3/4. Put the tip of the compass at P and draw an arc intersecting PQ. Keeping the compass set at the same width, put the tip at Q and draw another intersecting arc. Points C and D are where the arcs intersect. At C and D, then, we can use those points to connect and draw that bisector. Okay, so it really doesn't give you a lot of room to do this, but again, I'm gonna walk through the steps up here. Well, actually, I'm going to go down there in a moment. Okay, so let's say, first of all, I'm just going to go through this one. All right, so here's all of that. I don't want all of that. I want more than half. I tend to probably draw larger arcs than smaller ones because I think they're just a little bit easier to work with. And I want to be sure that I make it plenty long. And then I'm going to go to Q, and I'm going to repeat the process. And sometimes it's easier to sort of, it's a little bit hard. Okay. And then you have a point here, and then a point here. I know it's overlapping a little bit. You can take your straight edge now and connect, which is what they did, with a segment or a line, and that's a perpendicular bisector. So we're going to draw CD. The intersection of PQ and CD is the point M in our diagram here. Line CD is the perpendicular bisector of PQ. Point M is the midpoint of segment PQ. Okay. So this should be a right angle right here, which makes all four of them right angles, which makes it perpendicular then. Okay, so again on this one, you would just take the segment that you have. You don't even need to draw another one. You're bisecting the given segment. Open more than half, make an arc. Go to the other side, make an arc. You want your arcs to intersect. Those give you 2 points to establish a line. Your midpoint is then where that segment is crossed by the bisector. Okay. All right, bring in any questions you might have. We will be practicing these in class, so I hope you had a compass at home and were able to practice just a little bit. If not, you're going to have to be